We are still here at the BOBST open house, and I mean, we have talked to quite a few people already, but we need to see some machines. Cody, good to see you.
Good to see you. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
The Novacut, is that your baby?
This is one of my babies. They're all kind of my babies. So,
but this was the smallest of the versions that you really would like to see here, right?
This is our entry level machine. Yeah. So this is where companies, if they're getting into the finishing industry, this is where they're going to want to start. This is a great machine that can do everything we want. It's built for speed. It's built for durability. Fantastic machine.
We are here at the, let's say, the beginning of the paper flow, yeah. And you have a feeder section here. Is there anything special to say about that? Or?
This is just our standard basic mechanical feeder here. Yeah.
Solid and very accurate.
Yeah, solid, simple to set up. No frills, no crazy electronics. Just a very basic, tried and true BOBST feeder.
Is something you see also in other equipment from BOBST, or?
Well, again, we have options that we can add to this.
So you can have different feeders, basically.
We can do motorized movement. A lot of pressing devices. We can add a lot of options to this. Some lateral adjustment. Again, this is just a very basic machine, or basic suction unit.
So when you say that about adjustment, let's walk a little bit up. So that means that, because right now you're aligned to the front edge, right?
So machine, right? As of right now, we have, and we'll show you this here, we have a manual lateral connection. So this allows us to shift the sheet left or right as it's coming down into the machine. Yeah. Back here we have the mechanical lifting and lowering of the suction unit. Yeah. This is all done manually. Yeah. So
and that is the difference. So if you have a machine that is more automated, basically you can have more automation in all the handling of the
exactly.
machine.
If you have an HMI screen on the feeder, say we have something added to like an ACU register, you'll have a second cube screen here, and you can do all your feeder head settings right off the cube or HMI. And then this allows you to either move the suction unit in and out. You can make your adjustments laterally and also up and down.
Okay. So as you told me, this was like the basic machine. And you said that actually, if you look at the more advanced machines, you have some fantastic opportunity not to align to etch, but basically to marks on the paper, right?
Exactly. So we have a cut to print option. So that's our power register system. And you can have marks on the sheet, and the cameras on the machine will read the sheet, and we will move and adjust the sheet to cut to the print, to the marks on the sheet. So and that, this of course, is very accurate.
And I would say that makes the machine way more productive, because as you said also that even though you have accurate print, it can move a little bit, right?
Depending on your printer, if your printer's in good shape and it's maintained well, then yes, definitely we will see that difference if we're going to the head stop. You can see some register bounce on your printing machine. If you have a ACU register or a power register, you can cut to the print. So regardless of what's going on with the printer, we will always cut the sheet perfectly.
And I was a little bit intrigued because you said that the power version of it, that was like magnetics.
It's a magnetic motor, yeah. Oh, that's with
nice.
linear bearings on it.
But you can still have your watch, so you don't have to watch out.
Yeah. So as a technician, I've worked on them a lot. And if you get that thing out and you get it stuck to a table, you're not going to get it. It takes quite a bit to get it off. And I have done that in the future. So you have to take really good care of making sure you protect that magnet and you don't set it down on anything metal.
Of course. So now we have the feeder, and it takes it into the machine where you have the gripper, right?
Yeah, on this machine we have a traditional side guide and front lay or head stop system.
And that was the difference, right? Because the head stop is basically you align to top edge, right?
Yeah, the head stop's gonna register our sheet in running direction. The side guide's gonna move it laterally for us. Yeah. Everything's all fiber optics, so it's going to read the sensor on the sheet edge when it arrives and let us know that, hey, the machine saw the papers here. If it doesn't make it there, we get faults on the machine to let us know
so
where.
So you can see directly what
so we know where our fault was, whether it was a head stop in the front or if it was a side guide left or right.
We have talked to also to Thomas, your colleague on the BOBST Connect, and you also showed the screen behind us with the BOBST Connect. All these kind of error messages, does this also appear as part of your logging of the
yes,
machine?
If we get a fault anywhere in the machine and it shows up on the HMI, it will immediately communicate that to our BOBST Connect.
And that basically means that also when you review your productivity of a machine, you can also have that as part of your equations. Basically.
Definitely, the customer has an option to see all micro stops, any faults going on. We were creating a history of that. This is what's really nice about our BOBST Connect, is it allows us to view this data and find out what's causing our problems, and allows the customer to be able to correct those problems and keep their production going.
And no die cutting machine without a die, right?
Yeah, exactly. You cannot cut without a die.
So this is where you feed the die, basically, or?
So this is our platen section. This is our lower cutting plate, and right here is our upper chase, and in our upper chase has our tooling in it. This is our cutting die.
And that makes it, of course, very simple to remove this and just put in
sure.
there.
And I can do this for you. So, not a whole lot of sales guys do this. Luckily, I have the technical background to know how to run a machine.
I think all your colleagues is watching you right now, Cody, just to be sure that you don't screw
yeah,
up, right?
I know.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm going to
Is this like something that you, I mean, because I think I've seen some similar like this. Is that what you typically do on BOBST machine? Or is there anything new with the Novacut?
No, this is a very standard piece of equipment. All of our machines operate the same way with this.
Yeah, and you have the drawing of the die here, so it's easy to see.
Well, this is our make ready sheet. This is our spot sheet. So this is how we're applying pressure, more pressure to get an even cut across the board. That way we get our knife hitting the platen.
Ah, so that you can see that basically here.
So yeah, so when we bring this through, as we cut a sheet, we can see where the knives are not cutting, and then we can spot that up by changing the different thicknesses of tape. And this will give us a little more pressure on that knife and allow us to set this die up to cut evenly across the sheet.
I mean, I guess that a lot of customers that just buy packaging, they never know these kind of things, right?
Oh, there's so much more that goes into it. I mean, you think about it, it's just we're cutting paper, but there's a lot going into cutting paper.
Yeah,
so.
We'll
flip this over real quick, and you guys can take a look at the die.
So is this a relative complex die, or how?
No, this is just a very standardized. So this is a company that's wanting to get certified by BOBST.
Okay, so that's a new die maker, or?
Yeah, and we're testing this out for them right now to see how they did, and we'll give them some feedback on either improvements or what's going on, and this is part of their certification process.
And I spoke to John, and he said to me that you also produce at least the green ones, like the foams and the
different
rubber
rubbers, yeah.
So is this also made by you, or is it a competitor?
This is done by Cedo, I believe, and they have different types of rubbers for different type of substrate that's going through the machine.
Okay, so that depends a little bit on whether it's thin or thick or whatever.
It depends on your layout. It depends on your product. It depends on what you're cutting. There's a lot of variables in there.
But it's pretty easy to mount it here, and then you turn it and you put it in
Very simple.
again.
You have a quick lock system right here, which is one tool. We'll lock everything.
Yeah.
You lock everything in, and then on the other side, you have a couple screws. Yeah. So under this spot sheet, and I don't want to peel that up because it's all set up. Yeah. There are screws in the back that you screw that in place.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. And then you have that.
This is our protection plate. This just protects our spot sheet to keep it safe, and then also changes our measurement for our, we call it a sandwich in there, to get the right pressure to our machine.
How much pressure is applied to a die like this?
So it can vary. It can vary again by what product you're running through there. We have a display on our HMI that will show our tonnage and show our steps. So there's a motorized step counter that lets us know how many steps we are. What's really nice is in our tool link system, that can be recorded and saved to the HMI. So anytime you bring this die in, it's got an RFID chip in it. You put it in here. When you put it in the machine and close this window, it'll read that die and it'll populate that information in the HMI.
And that was what we saw basically also BOBST Connect, so you can see.
That's in our tooling system of BOBST
so you
Connect.
know when you need to change the die basically. Right?
Exactly, but it also helps speed up your make ready times. So
because it automatically sets up the second time you start using
it, right?
Yes,
exactly. So once you have set up this die the first time and you've inputted all your information, every time you bring this die back onto the job and into the machine will read it and it will put that information up on the screen, and now your operator has it all set up. He can just go make the adjustments he needs with minimal interference to the machine, and that machine is set up and ready to go.
Fantastic. Let's move it in and see what comes next here. By the way, I like these glass doors that closes. It looks so cool.
Yeah. And I'll show you this, and we can take a look here. We'll try to see if the tooling system will go up, and you'll be able to see it read the RFID.
Okay, so you can see that there, or?
And it'll come back down. after it read, and now you see it populated our information on the HMI.
Okay, so that's what you meant. So it comes up there, so it'll be read, and then you see it on the screen.
And now it brings up this job. So once it reads the die, yes, exactly. So this is our HMI. This is our human-machine interface. This is a key part of our machine. This really simplified and streamlined the operation of the machine. Makes it very easy for new operators to navigate and for anybody to learn how to use it.
And I also noticed that because you have that hole down to the trash here,
Yes.
that when you have scrap and we have errors, it's easy to put it out and just take it down there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And but this machine was also capable of blanking and stripping, right?
Yes, so this is your stripping section and this is your blanking section. So
you get finished material out of it just ready to put in the folding door.
it's called the Novacut 106ER. ER stands for ejection and reception. Okay. So this is our model designation to let us know ejection is stripping. Reception is our delivery.
And that's where it brings it
That's
to the
where it's
pallet.
going to blank
for the
everything out.
delivery.
Exactly, it's going to blank everything out for us.
And what about, I mean, you have like that conveyor, that is for the trash, as we can see
This
in a
is
second.
for our skeleton in the back.
yeah.
So this is our waste belt in the back. So if we're running a full skeleton, basically our front lead edge of the sheet that's in the gripper bar, everything will be cut, stripped, and brought through, and then ejected in the back and going out to the waste chute.
And then just to finish the walkthrough, on the back side of the machine, and that of course when a converter buys the machine, he needs of course to take that into consideration for the, just move forward if you like. Yep. Yeah, show us. So this is basically where you have
This is our conveyor system.
Yeah.
So this is where our blanks will come out of the machine. They'll be stacked in whatever order we want to set it up for. We can have tie sheets inserted, and then this will come out of the machine. All automatic. Then on the other side, we have another pallet ready to go. So this is going to be nonstop, constantly running while the machine. So you can bring your loads out. You can take a look at them while the machine's going. You can move it out of here, and it'll bring a new pallet in automatically, bring it up, and can be continuously running nonstop.
How fast is a machine like this?
So this machine, standard, comes at 7,000 sheets per hour. With the speed upgrade, you can do 8,000 sheets per hour.
Okay, so
Yep.
that is a very
It's,
productive machine.
again, this thing's built for speed. It's a workhorse. It's a solid machine, and I know they label it as a entry level. I think it's far more than that from a technician point of view and a sales point of view.
Good pitch, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Likewise.